Okay, we're live. What's up, guys? It's Luke once again. We're going to be doing a quick DCEU ranking tonight because let's face it, we're kind of busy people here.
Yeah.
But 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 hey, I mean, at least we're finally able to do this stream. We've been putting this off for so long because of things going on in our lives. So I brought on I collaborated with this guy for Nerd Talk on Alex's channel. So I brought on my good buddy John Stewart, aka Smooth J Stew. How's it going, John? Happy to have you here, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. How's it going, man?
I'm doing great, man. I mean,
Good.
happy to have you here. So, so here, this is how this is gonna work. We're gonna do like a little quick ranking here, so we don't have to like waste too much time. We're basically gonna name off our 11 through 4, and then we'll talk about our top three a little bit more in depth.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, you guys kind of can get a taste of like why we love our top three as much as we do. So, because I mean, let's face it. You guys don't want to listen to us talk so much about like Justice League or or Air Squad or anything like that. You guys don't want to hear us talk about that too much.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear about Justice League.
Who does?
Joss
But
Whedon don't even want to hear about Justice League.
he knows he made a mistake on it.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even that. Like the studio just kind of shoehorned him in there, and it wasn't much that he could do. I mean, the movie was already made, and they called him to basically remake something that was already there. So it is what it
Yep.
is.
Yeah, but hey, we we got it. But then a few years later, we finally got the actual Snyder cut, which we will.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll be talking about that in a little while. But we got see one person in the chat, Benji. Really, dude? You think Suicide Squad 2016 is top one?
Oh man, what's going on, Benji?
Can't.
Benji is a character.
Yeah, I can't believe this guy, man. Like, if I know he's joking, but if it is for real though, I'd be like, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Because seriously, it is definitely not top one.
Nah, nah.
Not at all. But we also got my good pal, Movies and Train Studios in the chat. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on?
So
Movies and trains.
so so like I said, we're gonna name our 11 through 4. It's because John is my guest. He is gonna go first. So name off your 11 through 4, and then once we get to our top three, we will talk about those in depth. So what do you got for your 11 through 4 there, my friend?
All right. Well, coming in at number 11, we have Justice League. Um, yeah, we're not gonna talk too much about that. Coming in at number 10, we got Birds of Prey, which I thought was
Ooh.
all right, but it's not better than any of the other 11 or the other 10 on the list. We
All
got
right.
Wonder Woman 1984, which I kind of liked when it first came out, and then I watched it a second time and I didn't like it very much. It was about the same level as Birds of Prey, which I actually had below Birds of Prey, but I switched it.
Oh, okay. That was the one you switched.
That's what I switched. Yeah.
Right.
But I gave them both 2.5 stars, so they're about the same level. So they could change in the next couple minutes, but they both 2.5 stars, so they both equally, not very good. And Wonder Woman
I get
84
that.
was a disappointment because Patty Jenkins, she was there for the first Wonder Woman, which was a fantastic film, and then to take such a nosedive into whatever Wonder Woman 84 was, that was very disappointing. So coming
Well
in at
said,
number
there.
8, we got Suicide Squad 2016. um Again, when the movie first came out, I didn't mind it. After subsequent watches, we all agree that it's not a very good movie. However, the cast is very good, and it definitely makes the movie bearable for me. I love Will Smith. He's my favorite actor. I love Margot Robbie, Jai Courtney was great as Captain Boomerang. So
I totally get where you're coming from. Like, I actually did rewatch Air Squad, like right before, the day that I was going to see the Suicide Squad.
mhm.
Like, I didn't mind it when it first came out, like when I watched it, but I rewatched it and I was like, this movie has serious problems.
Oh, definitely, definitely, for sure.
So yeah, but it's definitely lower on my list if you can't tell.
Oh yeah, I could tell already. Um, Coming in at number 7. Now, I'll say this: from 7 up, I really enjoy these movies, but it's a ranking, so I had to rank them. But
Okay,
none of these movies I think are bad at all. I got
okay.
Shazam at number 7, which I really enjoyed.
Eesh.
Hey,
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. But I'm just saying, I have Shazam higher.
I'm not surprised. Um, I got Shazam at number 7. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, especially the third act when we got the Shazam family, or whatever you want to call it. Because I didn't think that they were going to do that in that movie. I thought they were going to save that for a sequel. So I was very pleased that they actually pulled that off for the third act, and they did it quite well.
Yep.
Um, Now you're gonna hate me for this.
Oh
But
no, here it comes.
the Suicide Squad 2021.
No. Oh
Now
no.
listen, now listen. It's it's not a bad movie. Like I said, from 7 up
I know.
are all great movies. The reason I have it at number 6 is, well, one reason, um I like my movies a certain kind of way, and this obviously is not like that. It's very it felt like DC's Guardians of the Galaxy, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I'd seen it before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So I and
I'm
I
not.
and I'm not gonna knock anybody for having it at the top of their list. A lot of people have Suicide Squad as the best DCEU movie, and I can understand why. But for me, I like my stuff grounded and kind of dark. Um, it just it didn't really scratch that itch, like scratch that itch for me, like it did for other people. So and I don't know, maybe it's James Gunn style of filmmaking, but I just I don't know. Like, same thing with
Yeah,
Guardians Volume 2 in the MCU. A lot of people love that movie, and that's in the bottom half of the MCU for me. It's just it's sometimes it feels like, even with the Suicide Squad, sometimes it feels like he has to stop the story in order to get a joke across, and it's kind of disruptive to the flow.
yeah. I get what you're saying, but
Mhm.
I totally respect your opinion there, man. But I was a little bit disappointed.
I know. I had to give it some context. I didn't want people to think that I didn't like the movie. It's a really good
I know.
movie. People are calling it phenomenal, and I was like, is it really? Or are we just
Yeah,
like are or is it like so far above 2016 Suicide Squad that we just think it's better than what it really is? If you give, like, it's like giving somebody that's starving a Ritz cracker, they're gonna think it's a steak. So
well said there, my man. But hey, well, I'll definitely talk about the Suicide Squad a little bit more in depth, like
oh
when
yeah, for
I get
sure.
to it.
For sure, for sure. Where am I at? Number 5. Number 5, I got Wonder Woman. Love the film when it first came out. I still love it. I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's one of the best superhero movies ever made. It's not, I wouldn't say top 10, top 20, yeah, but it's
Yeah, I can
definitely
see that.
it's definitely up there. Um, the third act is a little rushed because they had to. and I said this about Black Widow too, that it's almost as if they forgot that they were a superhero movie and they had to do very superhero like things in the third act to kind of wrap it up. But that's my
Yeah.
only knock on the movie is the third act. And ironically, I loved the third act when I first saw the movie, but then subsequent watches, I saw the flaws that the third act had.
Yeah, I get that in a lot of ways, but I definitely will talk about it when we
Yeah,
get there.
yeah. Number 4, I got Aquaman. Um, the reason I have Aquaman over Wonder Woman, and I know I'm contradicting myself because Aquaman is far from realistic and dark, but it's so over the top, and it's so they do James Wan does over the top so well. His style of filmmaking for this particular film is so visceral and engaging. Like I loved the action scenes, the fight scenes, especially the third act. That third act was phenomenal. um and they figured out a way to make a comic book accurate suit without making it look ridiculous. It actually looked cool. And you got Jason Momoa, who is perfectly cast. I know a lot of people were
Yeah.
yeah. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people were not feeling his casting at first, but I had to explain to some of the average moviegoers. I was like, Jason Momoa is based on the 90s version of Aquaman. He's not based on, like the Super Friends or whatever. Um,
Yep.
not 90s Aquaman was, he was badass. He had, he had the long hair and the beard. He had a hook for a hand, like he was very serious. And they kind of
Yep.
they kind of went into that with the Justice League cartoon that was in the early 2000s. So when Jason
Yep.
Momoa got cast, I was very happy because that to me that's the best version of Aquaman. So
Yep. Definitely,
that
man.
rounds out my 11 through 4.
Yep. But before we get to my 11 through 4, I'm going to catch up on the chat really quick. Um, Benji says, "Didn't you say the Suicide Squad was in your top 10 best films of all time, Luke?" Top 20 for me. Top 20, not
Top
top 10
20.
for me. Top 20 for me personally. Here's movies and trains ranking. It's Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Shazam, Birds of Prey, The Suicide Squad. Can't believe you. But Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, and continuing on is Wonder Woman 1984 and Justice League. Good ranking there, man. I like that.
I'm interested to see why you have Birds of Prey so high and Wonder Woman so low. I'm curious. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I'm a little curious too on that,
yeah, I'm a
but
little
yeah,
curious.
but if you follow him on Letterboxd, then you'll probably know.
I'm gonna follow him right now.
Yep. And he says, "Have you guys watched the extended cut of Suicide Squad? I've never seen it, but I've heard that it doesn't improve the movie that much. I have not, and I do not care to. Honestly, I
I
do not
have
care to."
seen it, and I for one can say it improves a movie about that much. But it's not truly David Ayer's movie, so
It is no, it is not. If it is definitely a studio film, if you can
yeah, for
tell.
sure.
Um, oops, my phone keeps doing that. It said movies and trains says in my ranking the top 8, I would give a positive rating. Well, there you go. There you go.
Nice.
And Benji is making more jokes in here.
Best film, Wonder
Really?
Woman 84. You know what? You're right, Benji. I'm gonna redo my whole list.
No. Wonder Woman 84 is
My
far
list
the
is
best.
good, but it can be better.
Yep. Shazam is bottom tier. I disagree. The Suicide Squad is an 8 at best, or at most, he said. Nah,
Ladies and
man.
gentlemen, Benji Sandegard, the ultimate troll.
You think? But Tyler's here. How's it going, buddy? But let's see. His
Yo,
worst to
what's going
best, you
on,
got.
Tyler?
So let's see. His worst to best, he has Justice League, Suicides, or basically what I like to call Air Squad. Um, Wonder Woman 84, Birds of Prey, BVS, Ultimate Edition, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Aquaman, Shazam, and the number one is the Suicide Squad. My man. Uh, okay, so I thought Benji was about to troll again for some reason. Oh wait, I hit the wrong comment again. There we go. Let's see. His 11 is Justice League, Suicide Squad, Man of Steel, 84, Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, uh, Snyder Cut, Justice League, Shazam, Birds of Prey, and the Suicide Squad.
See,
Is
y'all gotta let me know what's up with Birds of Prey because I thought that yeah, I actually felt bad that I liked Birds of Prey as much as I did, but I clearly don't like it as much as the people in the chat. So y'all gotta let me know, like, what am I missing? Like, what makes it like top tier DCEU? I mean, it's not a terrible film, but I mean, y'all gotta let me know because I'm missing something. Please let me know.
Movies and Trains says, honestly, I just have a lot of fun with Birds of Prey. Wonder Woman falls flat for me because of the third act. The first two acts would be a
True.
4.5 out of 5, but the third act brings it down for me. That's good, man.
I,
That's like,
I mean that's pretty much what I said. But I mean, the third act isn't so bad that it brings it down for at least for me that it brings it down that many spots. But
yeah,
that's good reasoning. He pretty much said what I said about it, so I get it.
yeah. Yep, definitely. And I will go through my 11 through 4 quick so that way we can get to our top three.
Cool.
And our number 11, we all have this in common. It is Justice League. I don't really
Yeah.
want to talk about it.
No.
Number 10, I have Suicide Squad, which we touched upon earlier. I enjoyed it at first, but then rewatched it before I saw the Suicide Squad, and I was like, nope, not feeling it. Number 9 is where I have Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I do not care for this film whatsoever, honestly, and this is
Mm,
coming from somebody that has not seen the Ultimate Edition. I just
that
the
hurt.
theatrical
That kind
version
of
does.
hurt.
Sorry, man. It's just I really do not care for BVS. Honestly, I don't care
Mm,
for it. It just feels like it.
my heart.
I know if you. But I'm just gonna say really. But I'm just saying like this movie just really like this movie just kind of falls flat because of some of the reveals from the trailer. Like they gave
Mhm.
the Wonder Woman reveal in the trailer, and I was like, bro, you should have saved that for the movie.
Now I could agree with you there. There were too many trailers for that movie. I think including the Comic-Con trailer, I think that movie had 5 trailers, which is
No.
ridiculous. Ridiculous. And 2 of those trailers were like 3 minutes long.
Oh my god, dude, you're bringing me back to Dune now. That
So
last trailer for
we
Dune
can
was like about.
we can agree with that with the on the trailers.
I'm watching you, Warner Brothers, because it was not Zack Snyder's fault for the reason why that Wonder Woman was in the trailer for BVS. It was mostly Warner Brothers.
Yeah, they were trying to get more people to see the movie, but I mean it's Batman versus Superman. Like people were gonna go see it just for that, just on the title alone.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. And shout out to Zach Doler for if he's watching this on the replay or if he's in the chat. Um, this is the reason why he tries to steer clear from trailers on and that's why he doesn't do any trailer reactions on his channel, since
Mhm.
because he says he gets PTSD from the Wonder Woman reveal in the trailer for BVS. So
That's funny.
I don't blame him, man, because they really should have saved that for the movie.
Yeah. Tyler
So
said there were 4 trailers. Okay, I was one off, but yeah, there was too many. We just needed 2.
one or two, good enough for me. Okay,
Right.
like we had 2 trailers for Venom 2, and like that's not really gonna make any difference. Like if you have like 2 trailers, it's gonna be okay.
Hmm.
Like But just for me, BVS, I did not care for it at all. It's just really should have they really should have just let Zack Snyder do what he wanted to do with the movie.
We'll
'Cause-
talk about it. We'll talk about it.
okay, number 8, I got Man of Steel. I know you're gonna feel hurt about this one too.
That one doesn't bother me as much.
Okay, but I really do enjoy Man of Steel. Has some really awesome action sequences, but I feel like where this some of the characters just in this movie are, I think are um not really necessary to the story, and the romance honestly really falls flat for me.
We could agree
Like
there. Yeah,
that's like my biggest issue with Man of Steel was the romance.
yeah, we can agree there.
Um, but movies and trains. My rating from 8 through 1, those are the ones I gave positive ratings.
Okay.
Which I gave a 3.5 out of 5 for Man of Steel, which is still a positive rating for myself. Number 7, I got Aquaman, which I gave a 4 out of 5 to. Like just like what I think. This movie honestly is a lot of fun for sure. James Wan is great at making a film that's like so over the top,
Mm-hmm.
like what he did with Furious 7. But what I think everything that Furious 7 did, I think this movie did better.
I agree. I 100% agree. Furious 7 felt. I mean, both movies are ridiculous, but whereas Furious 7 was like, oh come on, man. Aquaman was like, okay, this is fun. I'm really enjoying this. And I'm not saying that Furious 7 wasn't fun because I still enjoy the movie, but I was having a fantastic time in the theater watching Aquaman.
Yeah, so we all got to thank James Wan for that movie, because that movie
Yeah.
was just awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
But it's just a movie I can't really rewatch like on repeat because of the things that were going on with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, like things going on with that kind of thing. So
Well, I kind of put I that that don't have nothing to do with the movie. I kind of put that to the side because when I first got it on 4K, I watched that thing like 3 times in a row because it looks fantastic on 4K.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like for like constant repeat viewing, just for me personally, it's just because of Amber Heard, like things that were going on. To personally speaking,
Mm-hmm.
but number 6 is where I actually have Wonder Woman 1984. I really enjoyed this movie the first time I watched it, which was when I got um my 4K steelbook for 84, which I love this steelbook.
That is a dope steelbook. Too bad the movie isn't better.
Yeah, but honestly, I really got a kick out of Wonder Woman 84, but my only like small complaint was the length of the movie. I think the movie is way too long.
No, definitely,
Like
definitely.
and like that opening scene really should have been like condensed down a little bit more to actually give the film a little bit more like time with Wonder Woman and her odds against Pedro Pascal's character.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really do enjoy 84 though, but I just think the movie's way too long. That's like my only complaint with it. But other than that, I really do get a kick out of it. And number 5, I know AJ is probably going to be upset with me for like where it's placed, but this is where I put Birds of Prey. Honestly, like he has it at his number 2.
Whoo, man. Apparently, it's something wrong with me because
Nah, man,
but the crazy thing about it is like I really like when the movie came out, I found myself defending the movie. I'm like, the movie's not as bad as what people are saying, but like having it in the top 5, man. Top 5.
I just really get a kick out of Birds of Prey. The action sequences
And I'm
are
happy
amazing.
for you. I'm glad you get a kick out of it. I did not get
really
that
do.
kick.
I really do, man. Like Margot Robbie was easily the best part of this movie as Harley Quinn. Like,
I mean, it's Margot Robbie. She's a great actress.
I mean, she really proves in this one that she is Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being honest, like if Suicide Squad wasn't enough, I really think this one really does prove that she is Harley Quinn. And
Yeah, my thing about Birds of Prey, and I think Tyler mentioned it. It's just the supporting characters just they didn't do enough. They were boring. Yeah,
yeah,
it,
I was just pulling it up just to get back to your point there.
yeah,
But
but yeah, they were boring, and then but they gave all the good stuff. They gave all the good development to Margot Robbie. And there was a fantastic story there for uh Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Um and I kind of want to see her come back, but I would like to see her like have her own thing, because she had a great backstory, but it was just so abbreviated and wasted. And then the way they wrote her character was just so bland and cardboard, and I wasn't feeling that, man. Because
yeah,
she has a
I
great character, she's a great actress, but she was just, but like Tyler said, she was wasted.
yeah, I get that in a lot of ways, but I think she does a really great job in the movie as Huntress. The I like some of the other characters, but just some of them just don't really mesh well with the story.
I did not
But one,
like Cassandra Cain. They completely changed her character, for one. Like, she was not like that in the comics at all. And then she was definitely
yeah,
annoying in the movie.
yep. But got to shout out Alex Thomas is here. What's up, my dude?
Yo, what's going on, YouTube?
Whoop. Yeah, I gotta love that. But also, I can't forget this. Ewan McGregor as Roman Sionis slash Black Mask. We
Yes.
cannot leave that out.
Yes.
He
Yes.
was an excellent villain. Like,
I 100% agree, and it pisses me off that spoiler alert, they kill him at the end. That really pissed me off.
no.
Oh, that made me mad. I'm like, this is one of DC's, and all of DC movies, not just the DCEU. This is one of DC's best villains, and you kill him.
Yes. Why would you do that?
Why?
Come on. Why you gotta kill off my boy? uh, but hey, I would like to see Roman Sionis return at least. Like, give him another movie.
Maybe.
Come on.
I mean, he blew up. His head blew off. Like, he not coming back, bro.
Come on.
He's not coming back unless they do some multiverse type stuff. He's not coming back.
Not unless like we have like Adam Strange just come in and just bring back Roman Sionis.
Right.
But I also got to point out like this was such a good role for Ewan McGregor to actually at least play against his type.
Mm-hmm.
Which that is something that I really appreciated about McGregor, playing a little bit against his type.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But number 4, you ready, buddy?
I'm ready.
It's Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you guys later. That's solid. That's solid though. I know that's solid.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I really did enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
But my only small little complaint with it is that sometimes it has pacing issues.
No, absolutely, absolutely, and I attribute that to Zack Snyder indulging, because he knew that it was only going to go to streaming, so he didn't have to worry about run times in the theater, so he could linger longer on certain shots. So he took full advantage of that. So I always believe that if it had come out in theaters, we still would have got this movie. Obviously, it wasn't going to be 4 hours long.
Yeah,
probably would have been about 2:45. Because the scenes with the ladies singing that random song in whatever language they were singing it, and then with the scenes that linger a little bit longer on Wonder Woman, when she's saving the kids on the field trip, that would have got trimmed down a lot. The Steppenwolf scene when he first shows up, that would have got trimmed down a lot. So the pacing, there's a specific reason why it's paced like that. But like you said, that's a nitpick. But I mean, I agree with your rating of the movie. So
Yeah, I still really enjoyed this movie. This was the version of Justice League we needed because, because again, we're not going to talk about Justice League, but what I really think what Zack Snyder does so well is the way that he shoots this movie and
Hmm.
also bringing these characters like all together, just not like rushing it like what Joss Whedon did with the other film.
Yeah, yeah,
Like he does
yeah. Josh Whedon, and that's because they had to cut it down to 2 hours. Walter Hamada made that mandate, and it feels like we're jumping right in, which sometimes can be a good thing. But when you have this many characters, you got to set them up, and there was no setup.
eggs. Yeah, they were just like, hey, bring them all together. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. But Benji brings up an interesting comment. Marvel still makes more cohesive and well crafted movies. I can agree with you there, but there are times when I think the DCEU makes some like better made movies, honestly, like in regards to like how they're set. Like
Mm-hmm.
with Wonder Woman, if I'm being honest, like with the way that with the film's time period, I think it's set very well.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that because it's a period piece. I Benji, I agree with you somewhat. Some films are better than others. I think by default, as a whole, you would have to say that about Marvel, just because they have twice as many movies, and none of them are bad. DC clearly has at least two confirmed bad movies in Justice League and Suicide Squad 2016. I think everybody can agree that those films are bad. Um, but Marvel, on the other hand, has none. Their worst film is average, and that their worst film is probably like Captain Marvel or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand that, but Tyler says the DCEU movies each makes different movies each time. The MCU, even though they're good movies, have a formulaic that make the movies in the MCU feel the same. I
I
will
agree.
agree. I Yeah,
I
that I
agree.
agree with because yeah, the DCEU movies definitely feel different than
Hmm.
most of the Marvel movies. And Benji says Guardians of the Galaxy does the 80s better than Wonder Woman 84. And yes, I will agree with you there.
I agree. Well, I mean, you don't really get much of the '80s in Guardians of the Galaxy, but that one scene in the beginning definitely felt more '80s than Wonder Woman 1984. Wonder Woman 1984 felt like a bunch of people in '80s costumes,
Yes, I will agree with you there.
and
But
that's one thing that I really didn't like. It was there was no believability to it. It was just it felt ridiculous. And
yeah,
not in a
I
good way. Aquaman is ridiculous in a good way, and Wonder Woman 1984 is ridiculous in a bad way.
yep. But anyways, my friend, let's keep chugging along. What do we got for number three?
Number three. Let me go back to my list real quick. All right, cool. Number three, I have Man of Steel.
Here we go.
I love Man of Steel. I love the way the story is told. I am a fan. I know a lot of people are not a fan of this, but I am a fan of the non-linear storytelling. It was definitely unique and it was a very different way to tell a Superman story. Um, as many people know, I am a Zack Snyder fan, so I am a little biased. However, I do recognize his flaws. A lot of people would say that he has style over substance. I would disagree. I think that he has a he has a tendency um to assume that the audience knows what's in his head. And I would even though Man of Steel is number three, I feel like Man of Steel is the least offensive of the Snyder trilogy.
Yes.
Just because it's more straightforward and not as nuanced as BVS or Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I definitely will agree with you there. And
Yeah.
let's pull into the chat. Alex says Man of Steel is hated for no reason. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
we agree. We agree. I think most people in the chat would agree with you.
Yeah, I don't hate Man of Steel. I like it, but it's just not the best DCEU movie for me. It's just, but I will agree with you. It is the least offensive of the Snyder trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tyler says the Man of Steel score is so great.
The Man of
Yes,
Steel score is my favorite score of all time. I'm going to say that again. The Man of Steel score is the greatest score of all time. Like I played I played the Superman theme for my son when he was in my wife's womb. I put my headphones, these headphones that I have on now, I put them, well, not these, but some like them. I put them on her stomach and played this the theme for him, and he still recognizes the music whenever it comes on. So I love that theme. I love that score. It's so optimistic. It makes you feel good. It's like, oh, I kind of want to listen to it now.
Yep, and Alex also loves the score for Man of Steel. Movies and Trains brings up an interesting comment. It says hashtag bring Constantine into the DCEU.
Yes.
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 Like, give me a Constantine movie that just doesn't have Keanu Reeves, please.
I have yet to see that one, but I heard it wasn't that bad.
I really enjoyed that one too, though. But
Yeah.
I just want to see a DCEU movie of Constantine without Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Now I have watched the DC animated movie Constantine City of Demons, and that is one of the darkest animated films I've ever seen. And yes, I am very excited for Tyler to watch this so we can talk about it.
Yep. And he says, I really don't understand why people hate the third act to Man of Steel. I think it's perfectly fine.
It's all the destruction, and I get it. I understand why people don't like it, but you have to put it in context. This is a Superman who's just becoming Superman. He's learning how to be Superman. So
exactly, and plus
he's not really thinking about trying to be careful. His main goal is stopping the threat, which is Zod, and Zod is not going to stop. And that's another thing why people hate it, because he killed Zod. But I was like, if he hadn't killed Zod, he was gonna disintegrate that family. What else was he supposed to do? And people don't recognize that is a character building moment that defined him from then on. That is the reason why he doesn't kill, is because he had to kill Zod at that moment. So from that moment on, he's not gonna do that anymore. We lost Luke. I'm by myself. What happened? Well, while Luke is away, I'm going to read the chat. How's it going, guys? Got Alex Thomas saying, I love the score of the Man of Steel. You my brother, man. I love it too. Yeah, I have no idea what happened. I'm here by myself right now. Luke disappeared. Yeah, I know. AJ, what's happening, man? AJ reacts to Man of Steel is great. Yes, it is. I think we can all agree on that. We may disagree on some of the other movies in the MCU, DCEU, but we can all agree that Man of Steel is a fantastic film. Smooth J Stu taking over Luke Ponto channel. Hey, it wasn't planned. It just happened that way. Tyler was saying, I remember seeing Man of Steel in IMAX. It was insane. I am jealous. I'm so jealous. I've never seen an IMAX film. I've never seen one. I'm from Ohio, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and the closest one we had was in like Columbus, which was 2.5 hours away. It's not that deep to drive 2 hours to go see a movie. I do live in Atlanta now. I do have an IMAX theater about an hour away. But I think I'm gonna wait. Um, I might see Dune. I might see Dune in IMAX. If there was a movie to see in IMAX, I think Dune would be it. Hey Jake, John, you never seen an IMAX film? No, no. The theater was too far away. I didn't want to drive 2 hours just to watch a movie. I would have had to, make a day out of it or something. I had to, spend the night or something. I wasn't about to drive that far just to watch a movie. Alex says I own like 4 copies of Man of Steel physically. Yeah, that's too much. I like Man of Steel, but I don't like it enough to want to have 4 copies. So let me guess. You got the Slip, the Digibook. I'm guessing you have the Steel book. And what's the other copy? While he answers that, I'm gonna read another question. In-game and IMAX was bananas, and with that crowd too, a night I'll never forget. I'm jealous, man. I wish
Okay.
my in-game. Yo, we got Luke back. What's happening, man?
Yeah, I am so sorry, guys. I was about to call off the stream because I was having some technical difficulties.
It's all
But
good. I held it down for you. I had to take over your channel real quick.
nah, man, you're good. You're good. But anyways, now we can finally get to my number 3, which I have Shazam.
Solid.
Love me some Shazam. Zachary Levi was perfect casting for this role.
I agree.
Love Zachary Levi.
I agree.
But my only small complaint with Shazam is that was Mark Strong's villain role, but it's not going to make me downgrade this movie too harshly for that because I still really do love this movie. But the problem is, like with Mark Strong's villain role, like I think he's a little too boring in my opinion. But it doesn't make me downgrade this movie because of how much fun it really is.
Yeah.
And then
I agree. I agree with the Mark Strong comment because even though I love Mark Strong, he's a severely underrated actor. But his villain, his role in that movie just felt like just a cookie cutter villain, and he didn't do anything special with it. I mean, he owned the role, but I think it was just the way that the character was written, not in his performance. It was just how they made the character.
Yeah, I agree. But if you want a good Mark Strong villain role, you got to watch Kick-Ass.
Absolutely.
Kick-Ass is definitely the Mark Strong villain role we need.
Yes, absolutely. He's very Black Mask like in that movie.
In Kick-Ass. Yes,
Yeah.
I would agree. He's basically the original version of Roman
Yes.
Sionis.
Yes. But
yeah, I really do love Shazam. The action sequences are great. David F. Sandberg was the director of this movie, if you guys don't know. The guy directed Annabelle Creation and Lights Out, 2 really good horror movies. But
Annabelle Creation is a slept-on horror movie. I remember watching it. I watched it the first time, didn't like it. Watched it the second time. I was like, was I drunk? Like, why did I not like this movie? And don't get me wrong, it still has its problems, but that third act, I love the third act of that movie.
Yes, I do really enjoy Annabelle Creation, definitely. But let's just keep chugging right along. Let's get to number 2. Let's see what you got for number 2 there, buddy.
My number 2 is Batman versus Superman, the Ultimate Edition.
All right.
The Ultimate Edition only has, I won't say only, but there's 30 minutes of extra footage, but that 30 minutes makes the film so much better because it fills in some gaps that Zack Snyder had to take out to make the movie shorter. One of the biggest gaps was the bomb scene at the Capitol. It explains why he couldn't see it. But yeah, I I love what Zack Snyder did with Batman and Superman. He took those two characters and put them in the most realistic world possible. If Superman dropped out of the sky right now, I guarantee you Batman versus Superman would happen. They'd probably try to kill him first, but let's just say that we didn't. He would be going to court, all of that. Somebody would be trying to kill him, all of that. Like BVS is super realistic as far as how people would react to a being of that multitude.
Yes, definitely.
And it really it really feels like a film rather than a superhero movie. It feels like he's really telling a story about characters who just happen to be superheroes.
Yeah, definitely. I will agree with you there.
Yeah.
But I need to watch the Ultimate Edition. But Alex says that BVS is fire.
Fuego.
Yep. Alex also says Shazam was all right. Tyler loves teasing me about the slipcover. He's talking about
Oh,
the
come on,
Bryce.
AJ. Come on, man. Don't be a party pooper. There's always
just,
one.
it Annabelle Creation probably just wasn't for him though, but then that's okay because
And that's okay. That's okay because there are a lot of horror movies that aren't for me.
like if I can think of one, I don't think Hellraiser would probably be for you if I'm really thinking about it.
Based on based on the concept and what I read Tyler's review. If you guys haven't checked out Tyler's reviews for his movies, please go follow him at Mind of a Nerd on Instagram. He has great reviews. But after reading Tyler's review, the way the like what I envisioned in my head, I think you're right. I don't think I would enjoy that, but I'm not gonna pass judgment too soon. Because I do plan on watching it eventually, sometime this month, maybe like towards the end of the month. I'm not in any rush to watch it because I do have my own reviews that I got to get through. But
yep, you got to, and I'm still staying tuned for those reviews coming up there very soon, there, buddy.
yeah,
So
go check out my Casper review. I just uploaded that today.
that's right. And my number 2, Wonder Woman.
Nice, solid.
Absolutely loved this film. Like I was like when this movie was coming out, I was like, really, this one's gonna be bad. Like just because we already had basically not three, two misses for the track record for the DCEU. I was like, okay, DC, pull your head out of the water, please. Come on. Like I was hoping they would pull their head out of the water, and they finally did with Wonder Woman. This was like the first, like, to me, the first really great DCEU movie that finally got them out of the water. But then obviously we don't talk about what came out next. But
yeah, and to go back to your point about the two misses, I don't think that BVS can count as a miss because it was so divisive. Like I've never seen a crowd split right down the middle. Like you either love it or you hate it. Half the people love it, half the people hate it. There is no middle ground. And I've never seen that with a movie. At least a movie that this big.
yes,
Of course, when you get to smaller films, it's like that, especially like A24 joints. But
yeah,
movies like this, I haven't seen that before, and I haven't seen it since. Where it's just like literally straight down the middle.
exactly, exactly. I mean, and again, I still need to see the Ultimate Edition. Like I have to. But in any case, Wonder Woman is a great period piece. Gal Gadot was born to play as Wonder Woman. I think she was fantastic in the movie. Chris Pine as Steve Trevor was excellent. I don't know why he was still in the sequel, but the reason why he was in the sequel was because he had a contract signed from Warner Brothers. That was the only reason why. But if he died in this one, why would you bring him back to 84?
Right. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Warner Brothers is stupid. They're stupid.
They don't
until they become Warner Brothers Discovery at the top of next year, they're just going to be stupid.
pretty much, yeah,
Toby Emmerich, Walter Hamada, stupid.
pretty much. But hey, I think he did a great job in this movie. I think this was coming off. This was just coming off from his from Star Trek Beyond from a year before that, which I think he really does prove himself once again that he's a great actor, very underrated too. Honestly, Chris Pine is a really underrated actor,
I
in my opinion.
agree. And he has range. He can do. He's done like every genre.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
People only
But
know him from the Star Trek movies and Wonder Woman, but he has really uh, a really wide range.
yes, absolutely, and I love Wonder Woman. I mean, a lot of people do say that the third act does drag a little bit. I didn't find any problems with the third act at all. Like,
It's not
I
that it drags. It's actually the opposite for me. It feels like it happens so quick. Like that the fight between her and Ares was like that. And I'm like, I wanted more. Because what they gave us was good, but it just wasn't enough.
right,
The only like truly bad thing about the third act was Ares's CGI. His CGI did not look good, and with Wonder Woman holding that tank, that didn't look good, but everything else was cool. It just wasn't long enough.
yeah, I understand, but it's just I just really love that third act, like with the and also the one of those scenes like where she's like walking through the trenches of World War I. I think that was a really well directed scene.
Yeah, no man's land. Yeah, no man's land is easily the best scene of the movie, easily.
Absolutely, and let's see, I'm just trying to get back into the chat for a second. Alex already knows what your number one is, bro. But my friend, let's just get to number one. So, what do you love so much about Zack Snyder's Justice League? No, I'm just playing, bro. But like, tell
um
us your little thoughts about Zack Snyder's Justice League.
well, I mean, without getting too much into it, we all know the story. We got the crap that came out in November of 2017. And I was one of the delusional fans because I was completely biased, and I said I was going to like the movie no matter what, and I held it deep down in my soul, knowing that I did not like the movie, said that it was okay. And I'd like to apologize to all the DC fans out there for for saying that this was a good for saying that Justice League was a good movie. It is terrible. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And I always knew, but I was in denial. And but now we're here, 2021, in the promised land of Zack Snyder's Justice League, affectionately
Yes,
known as the Snyder Cut, which is, say it with me, a masterpiece.
masterpiece.
A masterpiece.
Well, I wouldn't say I,
I love
I'm,
this film.
I wouldn't quite say masterpiece though, but it is masterclass work from Zack Snyder, in my opinion. It's
Yes,
master
agreed.
class, but not.
Agreed.
I wouldn't go as far as saying masterpiece though, but like I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying there, man. But I'm just not gonna go as far as saying it's a masterpiece because I still have a couple pacing issues with it.
No, I get it. I get it. And like we said before, we addressed the pacing issues. It was only because he was indulging because he knew it was going to go straight to streaming. So he decided to get in his bag a little bit with the visuals. And some people don't like that. I'm a fan of it. Didn't bother me. The 4 hours flew by the first time I watched it. I've watched it about maybe 10 times now. And now I kind of feel the 4 hours. But the first couple of times I watched it, I didn't really feel it just because my excitement was through the roof for this movie. It was a culmination of this big grand story that Zack Snyder had envisioned in his head. And to finally see this is, regardless of the content of the movie, this is one reason why I hold it so high. We finally got to see a director realize his true vision for a movie.
Yes.
we hadn't seen that since the Donner cut of Superman 2.
Yes.
And I tell people this all the time, without Richard Donner paving the way for directors, we wouldn't have gotten Zack Snyder's Justice League. That whole situation was the groundwork for Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think that Zack Snyder had the benefit of social media behind him, but to see his vision finally come to fruition, that's heartwarming for me, because Zack Snyder is a visionary storyteller, and
Y-
he cares so much about his craft. Whether you think his movies are good or not, you cannot say that he doesn't care. He puts everything into his movies, even the bad ones. Because Sucker Punch is not good, but he puts everything into his movies.
He does for sure, man.
Yes.
I do agree with that. But see you later, Movies and Train Studios. He said he just subscribed to you, John. So
Peace.
see you later, man. But I think it's about time. Benji did call it earlier. My number one is the Suicide Squad. Absolutely the best DCEU film. To me, it is. But I know not for you, but for me, I loved it. Like, I still was really excited for this movie. I just wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was after leaving the theater. Um, like, even though I did see the trailer quite a bit of times, I was still kind of surprised, like shocked at the gore factor that this movie offered. Like, in regards to a lot of the death scenes in the movie, like, because James Gunn did not show you any of the death scenes in the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something to be appreciated. Like he does not show you anything that happened in the trailers, like with like in the movie that was in the trailer. Well, like maybe like two,
Mm-hmm.
but those were only just for one character. But that and it wasn't even like a main character or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like it wasn't anything like Peacemaker or Bloodsport or even like Rick Flag. It was just like King Shark killing a couple of victims, either just eating them or just ripping them in half. So, but yeah, I got to talk about these characters though, man. I can't forget. Like my favorite character was honestly King Shark, which was voiced by Sylvester Stallone. Dude,
Hand.
ah. But I can't forget, dude. I always, dude. Most of the times when I'm talking, like when I'm at work,
You just
sometimes
randomly say hand.
no, I did. No, I just randomly like to just to quote King Shark and say Peacemaker. I always love that scene. I always love that scene where it's like, no, quit being a play baby. Peacemaker.
that was a funny scene. I did like that scene.
I cracked up a lot. I cracked up in
Yeah.
that theater watching that scene.
Yeah. And one of my favorite scenes, which is also one of Alex's favorite scenes, is the scene where they're on the truck or the bus, and King Shark is looking out the window, and he's just in awe of everything, and in awe of all the birds and all the people. Like he's just nothing special is going on. He's just very appreciative of being able to see everything, and that was a fantastic scene. Fantastic
Absolutely.
scene.
Oh, and Movies and Trains is actually still here since because he wanted to hear my thoughts on the Suicide Squad.
Ooh, yes, yes.
But
I
I have a
agree.
full
I agree
but I have
with
a full review of
Movies
it
and
on the
Train.
channel, so you can go hear my thoughts on my review.
Okay.
But we can still you guys can still hear my thoughts if you guys didn't get a chance to check out my review, obviously. But yeah, I did love like Sylvester Stallone's King Shark, which was Steve Agee in the shark suit. It was not Sylvester Stallone.
Yes. That was the big guy with the beard at that was working with
With
Amanda
Amanda Waller.
Waller. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Dave Desmalchian as the Polka Dot Man.
He was one of my favorite
Dude,
characters.
he was so funny. Like he appears in a lot of these comic book movies, like which is kind of interesting to say the least. But
Mm-hmm.
this is one of these characters that I knew for sure he was actually gonna play.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Of course, we can't. we can't really go without this without saying Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was amazing. But a lot of people were bothered by her storyline, which it didn't really bother me, honestly. I didn't really.
Well, I think what bothered people about it was it was a subplot. You could have taken her out of the movie, and the movie would have been exactly the same.
Exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking, but
Yeah.
it wasn't really gonna change my thoughts or anything. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean. But Idris Elba as Bloodsport was hilarious. I think it was really badass in a lot of these sequences. He was hilarious, and Joel Kinnaman
Bloodsport
as
did
Rick,
have some funny scenes.
especially
But
the rap phobia thing that he has.
yeah, yeah. The thing that I didn't like about Bloodsport was that he clearly Will Smith was supposed to be in this movie. Deadshot was supposed to be Bloodsport's role because they feel like the same character. Now, what Idris Elba did with his character was great, but it wasn't unique because, like I said, it just felt like Will Smith was supposed to be in that role. They both had a daughter. They both kind of behaved the same way, just very nonchalant. Um, but I just like I said, Idris Elba did a fine job with what he was given, but clearly that role was intended for another actor.
I can definitely see where you're coming from, but a lot of let's talk about some of the other supporting characters. We also had Michael Rooker as Savant, which I thought his death was hilarious,
I did too.
dude. Like I knew he was going to die anyway, but I just didn't think his head was gonna blow up. And but then there's like chunks all over the water, and I was like, bro, really? Ugh. But but yeah, his death was hilarious. Weasel, can't get behind Weasel, dude. Cannot get behind that guy.
Well, see, the thing about Weasel was really only there just for the Pete Davidson joke.
Like, is this thing a dog?
Yeah, now that was funny, but even though I thought that was funny, it just seemed like even though it was the beginning of the movie, it just seemed like nothing was happening at that moment but that joke.
Dude, that joke, dude, and dude, when Pete Davidson freaks out, I always laugh because he's like, "Y'all sent me an extra werewolf."
Yeah, I'm no, I'm not. I can't knock that. It was a very funny scene. I laughed out loud, but like I said, it just even though it was the beginning of the movie, it didn't do anything to help it along. And James Gunn does that a lot. He just okay, stop telling the story, tell a joke, make sure people laugh for a long time. Okay, let's get back to the movie. It's like, bro, like tell the story and make us laugh. Don't pick.
Yeah, but yeah, I also did really like Pete Davidson as Blackguard before he eventually got his face shot off. Which, yikes!
Yeah.
But let's see, Captain Boomerang, once again played by Jai Courtney, was awesome for the time he was given.
I was upset when he met his demise because he was one of my favorite characters from 16.
Yep,
So
I would agree. I'd agree with you there.
yeah,
And I did finally learn how to pronounce her name. It's Daniela Melchior as Ratcatcher 2. She was fantastic in this movie as Ratcatcher
she
2.
was. She was.
Her
She
backstory
had a
was
lot of heart. She had a lot of heart. She was definitely like the glue of the team.
absolutely, and I really
Yeah.
did love her character. Like, she really made me sympathize with her character, especially with her backstory involving Taika Waititi as her father.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? The thing that they did with Ratcatcher 2, that's what they should have done with Chick from Birds of Prey, Huntress.
Huntress, yes,
She
thank
had
you.
a great backstory and they wasted it. Whereas Ratcatcher 2, she has a great backstory and they didn't explore it a whole lot, but they gave it so much substance.
They
And
gave
that
it
was
so
a
much.
missed opportunity for Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
I will agree with you there. And Daniela Melchior really pulls it off with this movie. I really want to see her in more movies. I think this is actually her first film that she ever did, like on the big screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I cannot wait to see what she does next. But we also got to talk about my man John Cena as the Peacemaker.
John Cena.
You know, da 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 da. But again, shout out to Zach. I'm gonna steal his joke that he made in his review. Why does it seem like every time this Peacemaker character showed up on screen, all they could see was
I
a
knew you
blank
were gonna
picture
say
and a
that.
blank screen?
I knew.
He's I had to
Oh
do it, man.
man.
I'm sorry. I had to do it. That joke I thought was hysterical from Zach. So thanks Zach for giving me that joke. But John Cena as the Peacemaker. Let's talk about that for a second. I thought he was a hilarious character in the movie. I cannot wait to see his show on HBO Max with again with John Cena reprising the role as Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, dude, I know a lot of the jokes really kind of for his character were kind of given away in the trailer, but I still cracked up at a lot of his jokes, especially like with him and Bloodsport just constantly bickering at each other.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they gave John Cena the bulk of the funnier scenes. Um, but going back on what you said about the series, I wonder how they're gonna handle his character because he's a despicable person. He's funny. He's a hilarious character. John Cena plays him fantastic. But just as a person, like being a likable character, he is not. He's not likable. Like he's despicable.
he's basically the opposite of Steve Rogers.
Yes,
When you really look at him, he's
absolutely.
like basically. What if he was like Captain America, but all he wanted to do was just bring peace to the world in a villainous way? Hashtag not my cap.
Yeah,
But yeah, John Cena did a fantastic job as the Peacemaker. I think his comedy, like in other films besides this movie, I think he's hilarious in a lot of his other films, like Blockers. I thought he was really funny.
I haven't seen Blockers. I did see him in Trainwreck for the brief role that he had, and I thought he was funny in Trainwreck.
Yeah, definitely. And John Cena, I think he really does know how to nail in the humor at the right time.
I
If I'm being
agree.
honest.
He has really good delivery and comedic timing. There are not a lot of athletes that can translate to film so easily. Um him
LeBron James.
yeah. Him and The Rock, they do it. They do it well. And The Rock has gotten better
Yes.
with his performances because when he started out he wasn't that good, but now he has enough confidence and charisma to carry whole franchises now. But
Yeah,
I if I had to pick between the two of which one is the better actor, I would have to go with John Cena.
that's my dude. Always got to go with John Cena. Like I always thought. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for saying this, but I thought he was the best part of F9. Like,
John Cena, he was
yeah,
he was cool. F9 is just that movie is just
just in my opinion, like
yeah.
like I'm going to say this: he at least had more charisma to his character than Dom did.
Eh,
If I'm
about the
being honest,
same. About the same.
but if I'm being
He was
honest,
just
though,
his character was just shoehorned into a franchise where he didn't need to be. That was my issue with it. But he did well for what he was given.
just the movie's not. It's just like the movie surrounding him was just not very good.
No,
But I think he also was also pretty funny in the movie Vacation Friends, which also came out on Hulu back in August, which I thought was pretty funny. He was definitely one of the best parts of the movie besides Lil Rel.
I have yet to see that. I need to catch that.
Tyler didn't really care for it. AJ thought it was okay, but I like it. It's a good movie. I mean, it's not the best movie by Andy Stretch, but it was still a fun watch. But my friend, we finally did it. Our
We
our
finally did
DC
it.
our DCEU ranking. Thank you so much, John, for joining me on this stream. So
Thank you
I
for
think
having me, man.
no problem, man. We'll have to think about do more streams like this in the future if we ever get time.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
where can we find you, my friend?
You can find me here on YouTube at Smooth J Stew. Just type it in the search bar, all one word. I am easy to find. I do movie reviews and physical media videos. Right now, I am currently reviewing the MCU as well as my spooky season reviews. So please be on the lookout for that for this month. You can also follow me on Instagram at Smooth J Stew, also on Letterbox at Smooth J Stew, all one word. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah, once again, Jon, thank you so much for coming on, man. Please go subscribe to Jon. He really does deserve your support and all your love. And
Thank you.
also for me, what are you guys waiting for? Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below for me, and also make sure you click on that bell icon so you can get notified of every single video I upload here on the channel. If you guys enjoyed this stream, hit that thumbs up on your way out. That would be awesome because that would really help me get this content out there for you guys. But you guys are the best. I'm still going to try to finish up my Wes Anderson series here pretty soon in the build up to the French Dispatch, which I'm so excited for. And I wasn't originally going to do my Edgar Wright series, but I kind of did not really want to. I don't really want to do it anymore because there are other movies that I've really been wanting to catch up on and get reviews up for. So we're just going to stick with my Wes Anderson series. I'm so excited to finally finish that series. I'm still trying to get my review up for The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, which, yeesh, not a fan of that one, but hey, after that one, we will get back to the goodness of Wes Anderson. That's for sure. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys want to see more content from me, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. And in the words of Zach Goller, back talk, commence. So
Stay smooth.
see you guys later.